Weh U Di Seh. Weh U Di Seh. Weh U Di Seh. Weh U Di Seh.
People love me.
Welcome back to Weh U Di Seh. This is your boy Brady T. As usual, I got Yas and Lennon here with me to have a true discussion about certain things, topics, Belizean wise and globally. Tonight, we have a special guest on the podcast.
Yeah, Demmy Williams, please. No government names.
Alright, so Demmy Williams up on the show tonight, Rumajay up on the show tonight, representative, CEO, president, crown princess, queen, all of that. But tonight, we're going to shift gears from the normal, relationships, sports, yada, yada, yada topic, and we are getting to something very near and dear to the Belizeans, locally, Caribbean people, regionally, and somewhat internationally, which is the rise back of the Carnival season.
Long awaited.
Yeah, it's been 2 years since COVID-19 pandemic hit the world, and for us Belizeans, the Carnival season has always been a time for us to enjoy and be festive and to really highlight a lot of just to highlight Carnival in the Caribbean, in Belize, and all that good stuff. So we may have a discussion off camera earlier in regards to what is actually happening within the industry of Carnival in Belize, like who are the movers, the shakers, the organizers, and let me bring up a good point that if we don't get a hold on this thing, we might say maybe not a bright future for carnivals to come. So
Right.
you could shed some light on that, Demmy. What you feel? Because personally, Carnival has been something where childhood to adult life, like now a part of me as a Belizean where I hold like near and dear to my heart. So
Belizean people are next nearest thing to Christmas.
right.
That's Caribbean people.
Christmas.
That's what it is for Caribbean people, period. And I think sometimes that a disconnect what Belize has, where we say our Carnival experience as a Belizean experience, which is kind of ironic at the same time considering that most of the music we consume is from Trinidad. I digress. But it's a part of our Afro-Indo-Caribbean identity, right? So essentially, Rumajay was started to bridge that gap between what happened at Belize and what happened everywhere else. So anybody who know me know that I'm a Carnival chaser. So it's not abnormal for see me they go to Trinidad Carnival, Jamaica Carnival, Barbados, Miami, and that. After go hop from island to island, you start realize why I can't have the same experience at home. I mean, technically, if we're partaking in this Caribbean tradition, why is it so different here and it's not different good? It's different detrimental. And the fact that nobody just sound the alarm on that what I find to be the most horrific thing for experience. No, without the song unnecessarily cryptic, the reality is Carnival everywhere else is an industry. And I think if I had a dollar for every time I got on TV and said this, I could have afford to go to Trinidad Carnival in 2023. Just saying. It's an industry everywhere else, which means that it's more accommodating to not just the locals, but appeasing to persons coming into the country for buy the product. Whereas,
I get that completely. Also, even music, sports, I don't know.
Entertainment period.
Overall, the other Caribbean countries, they are just I want to say 1 or 2 steps, probably 15, but also I call it 1 or 2 steps ahead.
Try 100. Try 100.
Yeah.
Oh, a harsh reality.
It is. And I think at this point, I try to put the icing on the cake and condoning the lipstick on the pig.
So what's the first step Rumajay is taking with?
Well, we've managed to network while we would have jumped way there before we saw what the problem. I don't want nobody miss. All right, so
yeah, because I feel like it
will feel segmented.
Yeah, correct.
Right. So what it is here, the truth of what Carnival is here, what competition among bands will not necessarily like each other to begin with.
Oh my goodness. I want to ask a question, but I don't want to jump ahead as well too. But
You want to hold a question? You go hold a question.
no, it's not speaking about that same thing about the bands and being competitive and not really liking each other.
And listen, there's a difference in being competitive and there's a difference in being petty.
Right.
Right? I played sports all my life and I competitive by nature. You know, but that come with a level of sportsmanship and giving my competition courtesies were due today and considerations were due today. There's a level of discipline will come when you say competitive.
Right.
Pettiness has no boundaries.
True.
And that pettiness essentially that what sink the ship. It's sinking the ship. And I had to tell you, there's a reason why I'm a huge advocate against Belize having a carnival this year. Because if we will have a carnival, we need to put out something with sense.
It was very rushed.
It was rushed, and now the disorganization, not just from, I said the band's fully disorganized because then they try to reboot, but that association is very much not seeing the bigger picture on top of that, and there's no one regulating that because I
think you answered my question before.
Right, there's no one regulating it because Carnival, I mean, just for afterthought. Essentially, whether they admit it or not, it's always an afterthought because it was born on the south side and you can't take it off of the south side. Most of the bands they make up south side bands, predominantly black south side persons. So essentially, you know, we have to say it like it is. The state has never really paid much attention to the nitty-gritties of how to develop anything was Southside related and not across the board, red, blue, however you want to put it. So Carnival have importance to the state because it falls under September celebrations. And I gotta make that up because the previous president told me that with one mouth. That's the only reason why Carnival have any considerations and any funding.
So you have funding from the state? It
has funding because it is under September celebrations.
Oh, wow.
Otherwise, would it have funding? Would it have that cultural significance to it? Would it be important enough?
Yeah, that was the next thing I want to bring up to with the mere fact that the history of our carnival completely different, like with Juve. That was whole other story, a history go heavily behind that whole ritual performance.
If you hear that style, just
there's
you mean the Belizean
Juvert.
Christ the Lord and all its angels. I'm not even Christian. And so Rumajay essentially is a Juve band, and I am a Juve baby. Not because I like jump up early in the morning, because I'm not a morning person by any shape of the imagination, but the historical and spiritual significance of Juve and understanding the power of Juve. Without Juve, there would be no carnival. There would be no carnival. And I've seen nobody who made the Juve prior to 2016 even fully understand why they made it the way they do. So you would make mud, but why? You would distribute mud, but why? You have it pan you, but why? You know that the ironic part about it, what we miss. And if people would have fully understand that Juvenile, one of the biggest revolts, it was a black liberation, they would have understand the power behind it. But it also highlights why I don't know why we understand that either. Really? Because if you put too much power, if you let people understand their true power, then they have the power then for, you know,
overthrow the system.
Overthrow the system and
it's true back. Because when I could just say that right now, and I just think back to when I'm much younger, when you talk about September celebrations, you're not hear nothing even about carnival in school. You just hear about your national bird and your national animal, and
because
you do a lead parade around with your flag, and
chances are you're gonna walk Catholic schools after
and that's it. And that's it. One school was surrounded wrong religion.
Wrong church.
Me Catholic, you know?
Yeah.
Which in all of them, all factions, but you know, not get into semantics, but that right there. It get treated as an afterthought.
Right. And then when I really started the thing, you realize we're living in a neo-colonial society. Right? Like us understanding our power as black people never benefited the state regardless.
Yeah.
But us fighting each other,
That make a lot of money.
That shit profitable.
Yep.
So now when I look at the carnival bands, they war with each other, I'm like,
yo,
look at this self-fulfilling prophecy. Look at this. Like this is a clear fact of divide and conquer and no regulation, because regulation means that people will start realize things and put two and two together. Not to say that this is being intentionally done. I'm saying that this is inherently done. That we don't even realize that it's happening.
Right.
And that is the sad part about it. And when anybody come, and the Rumajay crew came on scene and they point out, hey, you know, this your competition's bullshit. If you do the carnival for profit, the competition essentially will keep you broke for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Because the rules are bullshit. Everything about what they grade you on or score you on, that bullshit. Why should it matter the dance steps what somebody do? The mask what they talk about. You know how much time I play carnival outside of Belize? I've never met anybody in my band. I don't know who designed my costume. I give people my measurements online. I arrive, I pick up my costume, and guess what? Carnival day, I out there, I shake my ass. Period, poo. Like, I don't need what dance steps.
Yeah, about regular proportionate jiggle. Like
Right, like what dance steps we the talk about, yeah. The only formation our band need that because they're in our sections, yes. So you have your front line, your mid line, your back line. Just make sure the bitches with the big feathers, they be at the front. The girls like me, whenever we can't afford feathers all the time, we in the back. That's all you need.
That's something very new to me because I literally just come from a carnival practice just now.
What carnival practice?
I literally just
Why are we practicing liberation? Why are we practicing freedom?
Yeah,
It is so wild to me.
right, because
This
it's
is
not
Brazil.
taught.
Is this Brazil? No, it's not, darling. It is not. So you would tell me if I lived in LA and I wanted to partake in Belize Carnival, right? And I want buy what costume for Band X. We're not calling no name, right? So I basically the fuck up for the whole shit because I can't make practice. So when I come, you don't know the dance steps. So when they go front of the judges, what I do?
Oh, yeah, I always got exception.
So now I become wa liability, right? Versus why we not just like I don't get it, man. And so the ironic part is the prize money, the whatever $1,000, probably less than $25,000, it doesn't even cover their overhead. So you would fight for break even at least.
The majority of people bands get funded by like sponsors.
The mercies of other people money.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They make money off other people money since like
The people
actually put money, actual pocket money into it. If they do
they? The thing is, do they have the pocket money for do it? Because lest we forget, these bands are mostly from the south side of Belize City. The poor people who do their thing.
Yeah.
But they always have to scrape and figure it out and like I know this, I know it, I don't want to use no name or nothing.
Right.
I know this band organizer and this band leader where she say when she they do carnival, it's never have been to make a profit. That
Because
literally the love for it, to do something positive for the community.
First of all,
because
profits
it don't
are
make
not you
no
have to love
sense
it.
business wise.
It doesn't, because there is no business structure to it. No, this is how Carnival work everywhere else. Everywhere else outside of Belize, Carnival is a multi-million-dollar industry. Period. So a frontline costume. I think to talk about Trinidad would be unfair. One of the cheapest carnivals you could attend, legit, the Miami Carnival. That was diaspora carnival. Anything in the diaspora is automatically affordable. It's subsidized immediately, right? So when I play mass the Miami, and that's not my flagship carnival, like that my go-to carnival, I will buy a backline costume. The cheapest backline costume, the cheapest costume now a backline costume, and the cheapest you are pay for a backline, the $500. Now don't watch me and say, oh, you got money for waste. Calm down. I young, I mean, no gun will pick me. Just to sit and live mine.
I want to know how much like the front line.
Then alright, so if the $500 to the back line, the front line we got a big, beautiful feathers, then bitches they pay like $1,200
Yeah,
minimum.
just say like $1,250.
And that reasonable. And they're not like you have to pay in a one and done. You put down one deposit and you pay and they will give you a deadline. So long as you pay down for your costume by this date, it should be paid up. Otherwise you will lose your deposit type of thing. You know, so
but again,
and what that include?
structure.
Yeah, and what does that include? First of all, you get your beautiful costume, but then read up on the road. for morning. So your breakfast, your lunch is included, premium drinks included. So like we the drink Ciroc and Johnny Walker all day. And the snacks all day. They might invite what artists to come. I think one of my first times playing in Miami, Shensi, I made up on the truck. You know, like then they kind of because they could afford to do this because they don't collect for their money ahead of time.
Correct.
Right, but even how the bands then set up, the people who own their bands, they know the design costumes. Damn, they're not wasting their time with that. Most of them ain't know how to cut crepe paper.
Yeah.
Right, much less if know how to source things from China and get it put together. Instead, there's an entire association of designers in the industry. So you could have one designer, like Sean Deed is one of the most famous Carnival designers. Sean, whenever I say Sean got a section, it's going to be expensive, but I go for it because your costume will be A1, durable, all the good stuff. Sean will have... For Miami Carnival alone, he would work with 7 to 8 bands. He might have a section in everybody band. And what band will have sections by different designers. No, this is not even a secret. This is the part where confirm me sometimes. Because this information come to me because once Rumajay started having our stuff put on social media, you know, fire is catching. So people want to know where to go at the smoke. So they've reached out, the people are come to you. So I've spoken to Sean, a couple other designers, and they're like, this is how it works. You give us a deposit, you tell us what are your colors, your theme, we build a costume, we create the prototypes. We take the pictures, as in they take the pictures of the costumes, they get the models, all of that. So your deposit covers the costume, the models, the photography. Kid you not, 4,000 Belize dollars for all of that. 4,000 Belize dollars for all of that. Then they will tell you a frontline costume, upon a wholesale basis, will cost like 150 US for create. So if you start from 150 US and it end up at 1,200, look at that markup. Right? You decide your markup after that. So once they provide their pictures to you, that your responsibility to sell it. So you put it on your website. Which band I believe have a website? Nobody.
Very.
Nobody.
So make we switch gears a little bit because I think we get enough few of the very, very huge issues.
I mean, I just said, like, you have sometimes you have to spell it out. You have to spell it out.
I understand. I also said, make we just switch to, okay, what is the first step or a step towards fixing that here? You know, like, sheesh.
The first step would be decide if you want to be a designer or you want to be a band owner.
Okay.
What you to deal with? You to try and make the money or you try and make the costume? Because I feel like if you concentrate on selling and marketing, you can maximize your sales. So put that in somebody else's hands. So if it all costs you $4,000, forget your costumes prototyped and properly modeled and photographed. Your only responsibility after that is sell it. And you will get your Lee website together. And you will put it on your Lee website and you can start sell. And Nitch will come and they will say, but we've had workshops to tell them how to do this. Yeah. Nitch, one thing, they made the cover for themselves. I mean, but what did the use of you that like your care of don't say that, girl. That you put somebody like me whenever I got to university in our PhD classroom and tell me I write a dissertation. How am I? So you could justify this, but I sent in a school. But you saw a school you sent me?
Yeah.
So like...
you sent me to MIT and I just made a fix.
Exactly, you sent me to MIT and I didn't know what the difference between what screwdriver and what Allen key.
I was going to watch fix the truck.
You are a keeper, you that.
Taking a step up from the Carnival scenery and all that. July 16th is the date, right?
Yes,
what can we expect for the people that don't know about Rumajay? What can they expect?
All right, so
July 16th.
Disclaimer: Rumajay was designed to be modeled off of my experiences that I've had in the Caribbean and in the diaspora. So Certified Fresh is what we're having on July 16th. That is our 4th installment of this fete, and also our anniversary because we launched the Travelers in 2019 with Certified Fresh, right? So even in a COVID, we've had Certified Freshes.
I also appreciate that you also decide that I don't think as a man we need to use your birthday month to make this launch.
Oh yeah, it was all about you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm 100% sure of that. Thanks.
But you know all about the people.
Yeah.
Always.
Alright, I appreciate it.
Right. So last year we changed the paradigm. Every year we transform the fit. So the first year I'm a typical soca fit. The Travelers Compound. The second year it became a day fit. We had it the memes. The third year we put it on a boat and we were Pirates of the Caribbean. And this year we realized, okay, so we need more space than just a boat. So we get a whole island this time. Right. So we're going to be tendering folks. And I can't stress this enough because, I mean, you could shake your ass on the boat, but please do it in your confined area. Right? Because we're trying to be as regulated as possible this time. Need chest of a call for me again. And we're going to go to Rendezvous Key. I could talk about it now.
We talk about Lester, Cumberbatch fan. That's our name, wrong name they call us now. Lester Cumberbatch.
Moving on. This.
So we're sailing to Rendezvous Key. Right, we're sailing to Rendezvous Key. And we have a full line up. Like we have our Rumajay DJs. So we have Prince Kevin, Junior, DJ Trick from Carazal. We have Sambo, Brown, Flames who's also a No Fair DJ, and Tashina who just flew in today.
She back in the city? Okay.
Tashina literally flying for this fete. I kid you not. The 2 times Tashina come home this year, I mean, because of Rumajay, big up Tash, you know, that whole big, the family big. And then we have live performers. So we have Papa John, we have Hugh B, we have Dando, and we have Six Frost. So
Nice.
basically with the Tilt This Island, it vibes. You could purchase your drinks, you could purchase food. If you want, you could bring your own food. You can't bring your own drink, support the bar. We definitely will have affordable drink specials for anybody who attend. But the idea is to give Belizeans a different vibe. So the scenery done set itself. The stage done set because anybody will ever say Rendezvous Key, it is absolutely breathtaking. And then with that line up and the fact that we have a lot of giveaways, like a lot of potential for win prizes, you know, a lot of different competitions. And we try to be playful as possible. So I'm going to sit with my team and I tell them all and I crook a sack from the ice where I save them because I want a drunken sack race. I want a 3-legged race after a couple shots. Like
it's so like life right now. It's so like what you need.
Like lime and spoon, but like at the end of each you get like a shot of tequila.
Now where can people
where
can people purchase a ticket or a package deal for this?
Right. Well, they could get the tickets from any Rumajay ambassador, or you could reach out to the Rumajay Facebook page, the Instagram page, the TikTok page. You could reach out to my Facebook page. You could WhatsApp. We have all the different WhatsApp numbers on the flyer, and we make sure we get your tickets to you. We just wrapped up a sale yesterday. We made a front time Mikado. We made have the tickets for $55, which is our $10 mark off because we made it done it for $65 before. So that $65 included your round trip to Rendezvous Key and 3 free drinks.
Okay.
Whoa.
I don't know about nobody would give a drinks.
I was show to make something.
Of course. Always. And the reality is,
Really good,
the
man.
reality
really
is
good.
you could all, as a promoter, we just like how Carnival bands depend on sponsorship, we depend on sponsorship, and we get good product sponsorship from Travelers.
It's only right.
Right, Travelers Liquors. We can't. I don't know what entertainment in Belize City may look like without the Travelers family. This the back and support with. So, shout out to the Perdomo family. We love you now.
Shout out to Travelers, yeah.
Right, so we could afford to give back to our patrons.
Yeah.
And it's all about that, giving back. Having people see the value for what they spend. Value being the key word there.
You almost make I feel like just start an argument this week and you say, you know what? I need a break. I'm gonna run my gym.
I mean, link the eye. Link the eye. However you want to get there, whatever you choose.
As long as the ticket gets here, my hand down on that, you're part done.
Exactly. We got you. We got you.
All right.